paano nakalusot itong si Camille Villar dito sa binabalak na kasong vote buying? Can you explain that from the perspective of an election lawyer?
Well, ang based dun sa information na na-disclose ng Commission on Elections, sinasabi nila na yung event daw or allegedly yung si senatorial candidate Villar ay namigay daw ng something of value. Nangyari daw yun February 9, 2025, which means before the campaign period. Ang start kasi ng campaign period for the 2025 elections is last February 11. So parang few days before the campaign period. So very crucial kasi yung distinction na to because under the law, which is RA 8436, ang isang kandidato is considered a candidate only at the start of the campaign period. So that's why na-imbento yung salitang aspirant, meaning after the filing of the COC and before the campaign period, ang nag-file tinatawag lang na aspirant, hindi pa candidate. So nagiging candidate siya from the start of the campaign period. Let us remember that under the law, all the punishable acts, especially under the Omnibus Election Code, yung word na ginagamit doon, candidate. So ibig sabihin, technically yung effect niyan is nagiging nag-a-apply lang yung mga election offenses and all other violations ng election laws during the start of the campaign period where these aspirants transform into yung status na candidate. So yun po yung explanation doon.
So does it mean before this official start of the campaign period sa position na tinatakbuhan ng isang aspirant, sabi pwede niyang gawin yun before the start?
Yes. So apparently yun yung loophole or gray area na na-create ng amendment under RA 8436 because ang situation kasi before nung manual election pa after the filing start na agad yan halos ng election. So ngayon kasi ang nangyayari is ang election natin Mayo but yung filing natin as early as October the year before. So ang haba ng period. So yun yung reason perhaps ng legislature in actually creating this what we call the gray area which is from the filing of the COC up to the time prior to the campaign period. So usually mahaba yan. Can you imagine October, first week of October until first week of February. So November, December, January, February. So that's around 4 months. Okay, so na gray area yon. So that's why a lot of people, a lot of candidates would do a lot of things before the start of the campaign period. And one of them is actually front-loading their expenses. Ibig sabihin, walang limit po in terms of expenditure before the start of the campaign period. Okay, that's why makikita mo unlimited yung advertisement sa mga candidates before the start of the campaign period.
How do you fix that? Pero before that pala, can you explain to us yung Supreme Court decision regarding this? Kasi ito yung nananaig, di ba?
Oo. Well, ang naunang napag-usapan yung issue na kung kailan nagiging candidate yung isang taong nag-file ng COC in the case of Pinera versus Comelec. So sa aming mga abogado, especially election law practitioners, this is a ground-breaking decision. It was a landmark decision where the Supreme Court ruled na walang premature campaigning before the start of the campaign period, which in a way has the effect of invalidating or making the crime, making the premature campaigning an impossible crime. So bigla pong nabago entirely yung ating election system because of this new decision of the Supreme Court, because technically before the start of the campaign period, candidates are technically free to do whatever they like and they are beyond the regulations of the COMELEC. So hindi mo pwedeng kasuhan ng election offense before that. So eto po yung nangyari kay Camille Villar is one of those intended or perhaps arguably unintended effect of this amendment under RA 8436 po.
Okay, so pwedeng hindi naman of course we're not referring exactly dito sa incident involving Camille Villar. Pero potentially ang isang kandidato pwede siyang mamili ng boto as long as hindi pa nagsisimula ang campaign period. And that candidate won't be held accountable for that. Yun ang isang absurdity.
Yes, because remember, ang definition of vote buying is you give money or something of value to promote a candidacy, diba? To either increase your chances of winning in the elections or increasing the chance na matalo yung isang candidate. But remember, before the start of the campaign period, technically there is no candidate to speak of. So there's no vote buying, conceptually speaking. So yun po yung naging unintended effect ng amendment under the law po.
Is this situation a case of the law failing to tawag dito, to adjust to the actual needs of the election system that we have now? Kasi 'di ba galing tayo dati sa manual tapos nag-automate. Mukhang dito pa nagkulang, hindi tayo nakasunod.
Well, ako siguro ang nakikita ko dito, I think the insertion of that one sentence in RA 8436, medyo hindi na pag-isipan ng malalim. Because I think the legislature at the time when it was passed did not really, kumbaga hindi na foresee kung gaano ka-tremendous yung impact ng one sentence na yun. They just thought about basically making candidates immune from suits before the start of the campaign period, but ang unintended effect niya, for example, is sa campaign finance. Technically, only expense tayo before the start of the campaign period. So, I don't think legislature has intended it na ganun na walang limit. It's just that parang unforeseen at saka unintended yung naging resulta ng one sentence amendment niyan under RA 8436.
And how do we fix this absurdity? No? Kasi sa mga viewers natin, no, matagal na rin natin pinag-uusapan ito. No? Yung tipong sa Pilipinas, merong premature campaigning pero walang premature campaigning. Diba? Nakikita natin nangyayari. Pero dahil nga dito sa sa batas at sa Supreme Court decision, walang premature campaign. So how do we fix this?
Well, there's only one way to fix it, and that is by amending our laws, by amending our election laws, particularly RA 8436. Perhaps we can delete the same sentence that created the confusion in the first place. So that's the only possible solution. But ako kasi the main reason why our election laws are very confusing is because yung approach natin in amending it has been piecemeal in the past 40 years. So dapat the way to do this is to amend our election laws in general and to make our omnibus election code omnibus again rather than piecemeal po yung approach natin. Because when you tinker kasi yung batas natin sa election law without revisiting the entire law, sometimes may mga unintended or unforeseen consequence. So this amendment in RA 8436, which redefined the meaning of candidate, is one of those examples po.
So if you were to have your way, ano yung naiisip mong solution dito? When should a candidate be considered as such?
Well, dapat po ang mangyari dito is from the start of the campaign period, dapat candidate ka na. The reason for this is because yung intention mo to run for public office has become definite na. Kasi the fact of filing a COC, nagkakaroon na ng public announcement that you are running for a particular position. And by manifesting publicly your intention to run, dapat po lahat ng regulatory provisions which should apply to candidates, dapat magsimula na po yan. But apparently, mag-aantay pa ng 4 months. So, ang disadvantage ito, for example, is kung incumbent ka, di ba? Nag-file ka na ng COC, yet you have the full advantage of using state resources in promoting your candidacy. So, it creates that very unfair situation, especially from the point of view of a challenger na hindi ka nakaupo at saka wala ka sa poder. So, may ganitong very unfair scenario. So, I think it has to be restudied again. And I think we need to seriously reconsider whether or not we should delete that line in RA 8436.
Tsaka pabor din sa maraming pera, di ba? Kasi kung marami kang pera na kandidato, unli yung resources mo between the filing of the COC at saka dun sa start ng official campaign period. Marami kang pwedeng kasusin, di ba? Pwedeng pang vote buying, pwedeng pang ads, etc., etc.
Yes, that is correct. Especially if you look at, for example, may mga studies actually na they made estimates of how much candidates have spent, and if you look at yung nagastos nila, gumastos na sila ng billion even before the start of the campaign period, and this amount of expense is actually way higher than the maximum cap limit. So kung iisipin mo, it does not make sense actually. Parang kumbaga naglagay ka pa ng cap limit kung anli lang din naman pala before the start of the campaign period. So parang very artificial actually yung ceiling na nilalagay natin in terms of expenses kasi apparently may paraan pala na ma-circumvent yan, 'di ba?